mountain bikers, you probably can all relate to getting to that point where you have more bikes, more gear than you actually have space for.
We ran into this issue when we moved into our latest studio apartment and really wanted to find a cool way to store our bikes inside of our apartment instead of keeping them outside like we had to do the whole year and a half that we were in our van. Thankfully, we were able to get in touch with Store Your Boards, and we went ahead and purchased their Swivel Bike Rack system to store our bikes inside of our apartment. And today we're gonna show you how we set it up, as well as our initial thoughts on whether we think it's gonna work well for our space and whether it could be helpful with you as well.
So finally, Josh hasn't let me tear into this box since it got here. I'm ready to rip it open.
Let's do it. The installation process was super straightforward. We purchased the 4-pack of swivel racks, which is linked below in the description. These came pretty much completely assembled. You only had to add the wheel hook to the swiveling back plate with a cotter pin. The packaging also included all required hardware, easy to follow instructions, and 4 rear tire catches to keep your bike from sliding when stored at an angle. Store Your Board also has an installation video guide on their website, but we didn't really need this. That said, it's still pretty cool that they offer that. Our first step when installing was to find our studs. We went ahead and bought a stud finder to make sure we mounted these correctly the first time and didn't have to repair any unnecessary holes. In lieu of measuring the length of the bike like Store Your Board suggests, we simply dry hung them on the wall to determine the height for the racks. Store Your Board offers a few different techniques to ensure level mounting, but we simply measured down from the ceiling with a tape measure. From there, it was as easy as marking the location of the holes on the back plate, pre-drilling with a 3/16 bit, and bolting them in. Keep in mind that the anchoring bolts have a 12mm hex head, so make sure you have one of these handy before you get going. We also found while mounting them that it's best to swivel the rack 90 degrees to maximize clearance for your socket or screw gun. Lastly, to protect our wall from getting scuffed up, we made tire covers out of 1.5-inch pipe insulation. This costed us next to nothing and has helped keep our walls looking nice and pretty. All in all, we had 3 racks mounted and bikes stored in about an hour, highlighting just how easy Store Your Board makes this process. As you've seen by now, the bikes are up on the wall. We decided to go with the 3 side by side with the one in the middle staggered upward just a little bit. And I think it worked pretty good. What about you?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool, and we're staring at it right now on the opposite wall, so it makes a perfect point of decor. No TV, just bikes. The bracket and the product itself seems really sturdy, really heavy duty. When we got that really set in the stud, there was no movement. All the pieces went through perfectly fine. It was not a cheap Amazon product. It was clearly, well made.
Yeah, for sure, and a real nice kind of matte black finish. Again, even though we're inside our house, I think it's attractive enough. It looks good. It's not bare metal. There's not big, ugly welds. It's a good looking piece.
Yeah, we were really wanting to go for something more wood and a little bit just more natural looking, but looking at it right now, I can hardly see it at all. The mount has a 50-pound max, so it seems like you could put almost any bike on here, from a BMX to a road bike to, of course, our beautiful mountain bikes. But I probably wouldn't throw an e-bike up there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You wouldn't want to be hanging like your 60-pound YT decoy up on this. So stick to just your road bikes, mountain bikes, stuff like that. The installation was honestly pretty easy. It came with a bracket, kind of the backing plate, as well as the mount that mounts in front of it.
The nice thing about the bracket piece was that it all came assembled.
True.
So really the technical part came in measuring, making sure it was straight, and it was very easy to do with 2 of us.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably the thing that I would have done a little differently, if anything, is done a little bit more measuring ahead of time. We thought we were gonna go fit 3 or 4 bikes on this wall. We barely were able to fit 3. And obviously that's not a huge deal, but we probably could have saved ourselves a little bit of a hassle by just, measuring the width of our handlebars and the width of our wall and all that before going ahead and installing. But we've never been very good at preemptively preparing for stuff like that.
So one of the reasons we got this product was to be able to hinge. I think now just looking at it, because of the spacing, I don't think we'll probably ever really even use that hinge.
That's true. There's a cotter pin that sits in there so you can lock it straight at 90 degrees or at 45 degrees to either side. And We had thought, rotating at 45 degrees, they'll be a little less obtrusive into our 150 square foot living room here. But like Wendy said, I don't think we're gonna quite have room for that to fit them still on that wall. But the nice thing about having that ability to pivot them is that we were actually able to kind of pack them in a little bit closer. We wouldn't be able to get the bikes off the wall how they're mounted right now, but to just rotate one or another off to the side a little bit allows us to really easily get in there and get them in and out. So I'm still thankful that we have that pivot setup. So as of right now, our experience with these racks is limited to just the last hour. So we don't have a ton of information in terms of the long-term durability of this, but like Wendy said earlier, they seem to be built really well, so I don't have any worries in terms of that. There's a lot of similar products like this on the market, but we got ours from storeyourboard.com. They've got storage solutions for mountain bikes, snowboards, skateboards, pretty much all the gear you could ever want to hang in your garage or your house. So we highly recommend checking out their website if you're looking to get some storage solutions for your house.
So let us know in the comments what questions you have about this rack. And if you want to hear how it does long term, we can always make another review, so let us know that too. While you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. Share this video with anybody who's maybe looking to get a mount or wants to know a little bit more about Store Your Board. Seems like a cool product so far.
After you're done doing that, you know what to do. Grab your bike, go for a ride. Hopefully, we'll see you out there.